Have you ever thought about that? Mind over matter. If the whole body is matter, what is mind? Mind over matter. That means we no longer mind because nothing matters. Let me get to the point. Basically, the brain is the physical part while the mind is the invisible art. Have you ever heard the saying, have you lost your mind? Well, when people get mad and dazed and confused and just act out of anger, their mind leaves them because the mind is spiritual. Spirituality is opposite of people just being upset and going into rage over systematic things, stress, everyday hustle and bustle, bills you have to pay, people you may not rub right with. You know, I mean, everybody has different personalities and all kind of different things like that. But basically, this is a physical world. This is the material world. What God is trying to bring in is a spiritual world, spirituality. We talk about the resurrection. Everybody thinks about Jesus coming up from a grave. Well, let's look at the definition of resurrection, which is spiritualization of thought. Now, let's look at spiritualization, which means one to be purified from the corrupting influences of the world. For one to be purified from the corrupting influences of the world, he can't think with his brain, because the brain is all about memory, experiences, thought, and all that type of stuff. You can only experience so much. You can only experience what you're physically there to see and evaluate. The mind is everywhere but nowhere at once, if you understand what I'm talking about. Let me just break the mind down in numerology real quick. M is the 13th letter, which is 4. I is independent, which is the 9th letter. N is 14, which equals 5. D is 4. So you add that up. M being 4. D ending it with 4, which is 8. I being 9, it cancels it out, so it's still 8. N, which is 5. So you have 8 plus 5, which is 13, which comes right back to 4. Number of the cross, number of stability. Then you got the soul. That breaks down into 13. I'm not going to do all the letters, which you can do that on your own. And then spirit ends up equaling 1. So you have mind, spirit, and soul, which makes a complete person, which equals 9. Completion. There's only one truth with the mind, God's truth. We can go all the way back to 10,000 years ago. I know it's documented as 5,000 years ago as far as the Egyptians and all that type of stuff. But let's look at the Hamakis, or the Sphinx, however you want to call it. It has a lion's mane. Now, the year of Leo was 10,000 years ago. 5,000 years ago was the Taurus bull. So wouldn't it have looked like the bull if it was just 5,000 years ago? Now we have the Black Madonna, who was the mother of Horus. Now, this is today, this is the Virgin Mary and Jesus. But the only thing they changed was the skin color. Now, all the attributes that Horus had was the Prince of Peace, the Messiah, all kind, and just the whole list of whatever you've heard Jesus be referred to as. But it's the all-seeing eye of Horus. The all-seeing eye of Horus is the third eye, which is the mind. So, people have made Jesus physical when he really sits on the mind. He controls the mind, which is God controls the mind. It gets deep. So everybody is split. Everybody is a skits. So mental illness is really mental realness. A breakdown is really the resurrection, if you understand. It is simple, but yet we've made it complicated. The devil has never lied. He's just manipulated the truth.
Your flesh is a relic. I'm your vessel. Hand over your flesh, and a new world awaits you. We demand it.
come in different what their duties and responsibilities.
And whenever
unrighteousness and disorder increase,
I manifest myself.
I manifest myself to protect the virtuous, to destroy the wicked, and to reestablish the sense of duty and responsibility. Thus, I manifest myself.
If you told me you love me and I said prove it, how could you do it? How can you quench your thirst without no fluid? If something's unseen, how can you pursue it? It's a mystery, just like the black man in our true history. Now y'all might be dissing me for my frame of thought. The way y'all talk of being individual is what y'all was taught. Now everything I say is rational. While MCs in this industry, to me, they be passing styles. Do y'all believe in evolution or divine order? Is you a doer or a viewing reporter? See, I'm sort of what you call an introvert. I'm a child of the moon, mysterious. I've been wild since the womb, and I assume most folks believe in what they see and what they feeling. Since they never seen God, they don't believe He real. Well, we can't see the wind blowing, we feeling the breeze in the direction of the currents manifesting through trees. Do you believe? Do you have faith? How were you raised? You believe in the last hour and day? Do you gotta hear, see, smell, and feel to believe? When you pray, do you kneel to your knees? Do you believe in evolution or divine order? Is you a doer or a viewing reporter? 666 is my zip, my code is 91 Trey. And if G's go to heaven, hope I find my way. Now when I write, I call you visions like hallucinations.